It began with a summons. A flimsy yellow chitti waved in my face by Shambhu, a rat-faced peon from the top floor, a lackey who considers himself superior to his fellow lackeys in the building on account of his being personal dog's body for the Burra Sahibs upstairs. If absolute power corrupts absolutely, then Shambhu was proof that even a minor dose can prove corrosive. I should have known, the instant I saw his crooked, beetle-stained grin, that like the gathering of the storm clouds on the southern horizon, the fates were aligning against me. He shambled up to my desk, handed me the note, and pointed to the ceiling with one bent finger and both bloodshot eyes. "Boro Saheber theke chitti." Quickly I unfolded the slip, then held my breath. An immediate summons to the top floor. Lord Taggart, Commissioner of Police, requested my presence. It was not the first time I had been ordered to his lordship's office. Over the 5 years preceding, I had attended his inner sanctum on a dozen occasions or more, but always at the request of Sam or another British officer, always the dutiful subaltern, on hand to provide illumination in the face of their ignorance of native matters, or a lightning rod to deflect criticism. This time, however, the missive had been addressed to me and me alone. I placed the chitti carefully within the pages of my notebook and took a breath. The Commissioner wished to see me. Did he wish me to lead a case? No Indian detective had ever headed up an inquiry before. Not in Calcutta, at any rate. Such an honour would be worthy of even my father's begrudging respect. I dismissed the peon, and after stopping by the mirror in the lavatory to straighten my uniform and run a comb through my habitually unruly hair, made my way towards the stairs, my heart hammering within my breast. Minutes later, I was being led by Lord Taggart's secretary through the doors of his office. His lordship looked up, gave me a cursory glance as if to make sure I was indeed the correct Indian, then returned to his scrutiny of the papers on the desk. "Sergeant Banerjee, sit." I did as ordered, and for half a minute more he continued poring over his documents while I contented myself with staring at the row of brightly coloured ribbons on his spotless white tunic. Sam, who had worked for Lord Taggart during the war, had on several alcohol-infused occasions regaled me with tales of his missions for the Commissioner. Once or twice, when his mood was particularly effervescent, he would even deign to say something nice about the man, but as I say, it was only once or twice. Lord Taggart eventually looked up. I recall the light falling through the French windows and reflecting off the discs of his spectacles so that, for a moment, his eyes were hidden and he, with his pale skin and blanched tunic, appeared almost ghost-like. Little did I realize as he began to speak that my life was about to be torn apart. His words the fateful first domino in the chain of events which would see me accused of a host of crimes as long as a python's tail. "Tell me, Sergeant, what do you know about Farid Gul Muhammad?"